Indigo dominates the domestic market. For the others who are growing, trying to establish themselves in the domestic market, there has to be some set rules that you can't take the passengers and the authority in the entire country for a ride.
Look, there are set rules about this. The problem is Indigo is violating them so flagrantly, and the minister concerned doesn't seem to. Have you seen his pathetic tweet? Indigo's put out a pathetic tweet some 13 hours back, and the minister's put an even more pathetic tweet to us before Indigo. There's clearly some kind of collusion happening out here, and this is not a normal delay. See, if pilots, FDTL rules and things like that about pilots, why are people's baggage on the ground getting delayed? Are the baggage workers also, or is it because the smog is so deep that the baggage workers couldn't see inside the cargo hold of the plane to get the baggage out? No, this is very, very clearly what is happening. Severe, gross mismanagement. There need to be exemplary fines. If necessary, the government needs to step in and put these people into hotels and bill it all to Indigo and take it out of their bank account. They have the ability to remove funds from the bank account. This is where you go in and use regulatory power, harsh regulatory power if required. See, we're all for capitalism. Right? We have never asked for, if you notice, I've been on your program several times. When people were complaining, oh, you're charging, Indigo is charging me too much to go from here to there. We have always supported Indigo's right to price their tickets as per the market. But capitalism has to have regulations. This is one of the cases where they have abused their market position. The minister is very clearly colluding with them, or he's incompetent. So it is one of two things.
Do you then agree with what the opposition, what Rahul Gandhi is specifically saying about monopoly match fixing?
Well, I'm not agreeing with him on match fixing because the way he's framed it is very problematic. My dilemma here is either Rahul Gandhi is right or in all probability the Civil Aviation Minister is incompetent.
Captain Amit Singh, your views on that?
Well, clearly this is a collusion because the things don't happen overnight. The schedules are known well in advance. And there is the means of compensation is not there. A passenger's time and money is not being compensated. So what we have demanded is immediate, there should be a compensation fund of 500 crores. Each passenger should be compensated 75,000, senior citizen, children, even 2 lakhs. So that is the way 200 crore penalty on Indigo. So that is the kind of measures that government needs to take so as to set an example, and a bill has to be presented in the parliament for protection of passenger rights. Right now, there is a civil aviation requirement which gives only the procedures. How do you claim refunds on your tickets? But passenger rights, there is no voice. Passengers are the major stakeholders in this industry and they have no voice. That is the biggest problem.
Right. You know, what I want to understand from you is how will this impact? Now, DGCA says that this will help in managing the issue of staff shortage. How will this impact the pilots? How will this impact them, the taking back of this one rule? Is it going to make this issue any simpler, any easier?
Look, nobody is trying to understand what fatigue is all about. When this FDTL was implemented in January 2024, the airlines pushed back. They said we need more pilots, 25% more. So, okay, understood. But they were given definite timelines for implementation. When the first phase was implemented in July this year, nothing happened, no cancellations. Second phase in November, nothing happened. What happened in December? That everything broke loose, hell broke loose. So it is not the implementation, it is what the airline was trying to push for, something called a fatigue risk management system, in which you can squeeze more hours from the pilots. And there was a pushback from the pilot community because it is a very systematic data-driven process. You cannot implement. The DGCA wanted to implement it through a circular. It has to be a regulation wherein you have to have a 30-day period in which you invite public comments. So DGCA wanted a direct implementation without the proper procedures. So that is what thwarted. That was thwarted by the airline and the passenger and the pilot associations. That is because now Indigo did not have a plan B. They were banking heavily on this. So that failed, because of which now they had about 65 to 100 captains short. That is what they claim.
Right.
And by reducing the rest and other things, you're basically playing around with the passenger safety.
Absolutely.
So
That's the most important point, in fact. So, yes, Abhijit wants to come in. So, Abhijit, in that case, squeezing more hours out of the pilot is in one way or the other compromising with safety of the passengers.
Of course it is, because remember, there was that horrific crash of the Air India Express jet with the Serbian pilot. And the fault was that pilot had, he had a micro sleep moment during the landing phase, apparently. Right? These rules are very scientifically calculated and put in after a lot of consideration and time and motion studies and things like that. Now, these rules were notified sometime in mid-2024. Indigo had a full, 12 to 18 months, more than a year to make the adjustments. They knew, they had already said, like my co-panelist said, they had already said that they required 25% more pilots. Why did they not hire those pilots? Now, if you don't hire those pilots, what you do is you curb your schedule. Now, you've not sold tickets 12 to 18 months in advance, so you know when the pilot shortage is going to hit. And you know you want to curb your schedule and, reduce the number of flights over that period of time. You did not do that. Now, even if the pilots are a shortage, are your ground crew a shortage? What is preventing them from calling up and telling people?
Absolutely.
Right. You just played a video clip of one of your correspondents showing where even the website is. So what, even their IT crew is now shortage. So their IT crew is shortage. Their website is non-functional. Their baggage handlers aren't working. This is what you call a coordinated, concerted cabal.
They waited for it to go out of control.
They waited for it. They waited for it and they've won.
All right. Abhijit, stay on with us. Captain Amit Singh, thank you very much for joining us, sir, on the broadcast.